All right, what's going on, everyone? We are back with an emergency show because Steven and I both just watched Avengers. I got my uniform on, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. So we're going to talk about it.
I got the Blues on.
You got the Blues on because the Blues are playing. I really debated since we both obviously went on Thursday night. It was the draft, the Bruins were playing, and Avengers. I debated going in all three. Wearing a Bruins hat, wearing my Avengers shirt while I having like a long sleeve, like Green Bay,
Like a pack of pullover or something?
Yeah, something like that. I debated. I didn't do it because I decided to give all my attention to Avengers.
William wore a Giants shirt, and then when they made their pick, he looked up, leaned over to me and Julian. We were at the movie, and he went, "What the fuck?"
That was my reaction because
the Daniel Jones pick.
I had
hilarious.
I was probably the only one in the theater who actually had their phone out, but I had it. I wasn't on my phone, but I had it next to me.
Yeah, that's how we were too.
And then so I would get alerts, and I had it set up to where I would get alerts for every pick. And I saw the first few, and I'm like, okay, that's not really surprising. And then I got to the Giants. I'm like, okay, let's see what the Giants do. And then they picked Daniel Jones. I was like, oh, he's not gonna like that. He's been bitching about that for weeks.
So funny.
It is
that was pretty early in the movie.
Yeah, it was about an hour into it.
And me and Juju started dying laughing. Like,
well, I don't think any of us texted in our group chat until the movie was over.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, and so I remember getting out, and I already knew it happened, but I remember getting out and just typing ha 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 at William Snotty. But anyway, let's talk about the movie.
Yeah.
So we both have similar opinions on it. We didn't hate it. We didn't necessarily love it, but we thought it was really good.
Yeah, it tied up the saga well.
I will say this, not to interrupt you, but I will say this. This should be the end of Phase 3 of the MCU. I know that they technically said it's going to be Spider-Man, but this should be the end.
The end now?
Yeah, Spider-Man's going to be Phase 3 is what they said.
I mean, it's the Infinity Saga, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
That should be the end. So, I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
No, yeah, I don't blame you.
Oh, perfect.
But
I think okay, we're good. Anyway, but I mean, yeah, that didn't make sense to me. That Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man movie, feels like a stepping off point for Phase 4.
Excellent MCU reference, stepping off point. Excellent Marvel reference.
Dude, I got my references, but what it is what it is. Like I said, it tied up everything so well in terms of how the story, how it. Okay, 5 seconds. Just get the puck out.
There you go.
Ball game. Okay.
Setting up good for our boys.
Yeah, they are.
We're setting up well.
Setting up well, yeah. Use good grammar, Shane.
I know. I did that with my mom the other day. She said something like, it went good. And I'm like, you mean it went well? And she would almost smack me.
I probably would have, too.
But, yeah, I agree with you. It was it started off pretty fast.
Yeah, it did. I mean, Thanos losing the head in the first, 15, 20 minutes of the movie?
I think it was less than that.
Been less than that?
I'd say 10 minutes. They killed Thanos?
That kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. Just because that felt like a...
Well, I knew that was obviously that wasn't how it was going to end. I remember turning to my buddy and I said, "What if the movie just ended right there?"
I looked at right after that happened and like that scene ended.
By the way, we should have mentioned that this contains a lot of spoilers.
So. Yeah, this is going to be spoiler laden. Just we should probably put that in the title.
Oh, I will. Yeah,
spoiler laden. I looked at Juge and I just went roll credits.
Yeah, roll credits.
I would have, and he was like, I would freak out.
Oh, I would be so mad. And I'm already a little disappointed, but
yeah, I mean, like like you said, it started off fast, and then it
really slowed down.
It slowed down for. I mean, it's a 3-hour movie, so like it was going to be, that type of pace in it. But
by the way, did any of you go to the bathroom?
Nope.
I didn't either. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of us. We didn't.
Like the entire final battle and like everything after it.
Oh, I wouldn't go into the bathroom even. I had to pee, but I didn't go during that.
So bad.
Yeah. But it was like we said, started off pretty fast, and then in the first 10 minutes, Thanos loses his head. Well, I'm sorry, no. In the first 2 minutes, Captain Marvel saves Iron Man and Nebula, which we both thought was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the first 2 minutes, finds them, saves them, brings them back to Earth. And I was like, oh, we're doing this right now.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be at least like maybe 15 minutes until they all reunited.
Yeah, and then Cap and Iron Man have their pissing contest.
Yeah, and I could see that coming. I didn't think it was going to be a welcome reunion for them.
Yeah, it. I didn't have a opinion on it either way. I was like, oh, okay, that's what they did.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Another one of the other disappointments, speaking of Captain Marvel, was Captain Marvel. She was barely in the movie.
Yeah. I don't know if, like... I mean, I guess I kind of understand, like, wanting to focus more on the... Like, on the Avengers themselves. Like, want to focus more on Cap and Iron Man and Black Widow and Hawkeye and Hulk and all them. Yeah. Like, I get that. This is their storyline.
It is, and it wraps up, the original Avengers, pretty much. The original team.
And, so I get it, and she's going to be a big part of Marvel moving forward.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, in the comics, she's the leader of the Avengers.
Right.
Or the new Avengers.
Right. Which it'll still be called the Avengers in the MCU.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. So, I mean, it's not that she won't be a huge part of it. It's just like I said, this was their storyline. The original 6, plus with the additions of the Rocket, Guardians and Ant-Man, Black Panther and Bucky and all them. Like, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. And that haircut just really pissed me off too.
Which haircut?
Captain Marvel's haircut.
Yeah, her haircut was atrocious.
That was bad.
I'm not going to get into my huge take. I'm going to save that a little bit later. But okay. I got some thoughts on it. But I'm trying to think of what else. What else happened? I'm trying to go just in order. The whole time travel thing was fun. Oh, Iron Man getting a family was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that a lot.
That's kind of, I think, of a nod to comic readers. Obviously, I wasn't a huge comic kid growing up. Like, I played outside a lot. But from what I know now, Morgan, his daughter being named Morgan is a comic reference to, like, the next Iron Man or something. It's a, after the death of Tony Stark, that person picks up the mantle of Iron Man and continues it. So that was a cool nod, I thought. And you had to think that would be kind of laden. This movie would be kind of have a lot of those.
And there were. I mean, that was the majority of the movie, was a lot of not reunions. It was a lot of really good cameos. We had Howard Stark come back, which I loved, and there was just a lot of moments where these old characters came back, and then the Avengers got to kind of meet up with them again. Tony meeting up with his dad in the 70s in New Jersey. Same with Captain America meeting up with Peggy in the 70s in New Jersey. Thor meeting up with his mom right before she died. Yeah. So there were a lot of those, and I thought they were really well done. And I was fine with it, but just the middle of the movie was the biggest disappointment with me. Just very boring.
It was like it made sense. Like the plot made there wasn't a part that I didn't like.
No.
it was slow, and like I said, that I guess that happens with a 3-hour movie, but
Yeah, I mean, there's only so. It felt like they could really. I mean, just that, given how slow it was, it felt like they could have trimmed that down.
yeah, maybe. But I mean, you spend that much money on something, you're probably gonna
Yeah.
want to stretch it out as much as you can too.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Trying to think of what else that happened early. Oh, well, I mean, just back to Thor. I knew. I mean, that as weird as that, or not Thor. I'm sorry, Thanos. As weird as that was for him to lose his head in the first 10 minutes of the movie or whatever, I knew something was up. I was like, well, okay, well, something's gonna happen because we both figured there were gonna be time travel,
Mm-hmm.
and that ended up happening. Spoiler alert. Um, but I knew something like I remember thinking, okay, well, something's gonna go wrong in the time travel. Thanos will be back, and sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Um, them retrieving the stones, like the Hulk just got the time stone. The ancient one just gave it to him. I was like, oh, okay, here you go.
Yeah,
Almost.
I,
Then like the hardest one was obviously the Soul Stone because for obvious reasons. Because of Black Widow choosing to kill herself for it. Um, Spoiler alert.
it's just weird because you know all we've heard is that she's gonna get a movie.
Yeah, that's the other thing is that
That's weird to me.
we heard for a long time she was getting her own movie, and I don't see how you're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that now, but I'm sure Marvel will figure out a way.
Hawkeye makes sense because he just got a TV show, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Black Widow. I knew her contract was up. A lot of these character fates we knew was going to happen. Captain America and Iron Man being two.
Iron Man, Black Widow,
even Thor. His Chris
yeah, I mean,
contract was up.
the big four, original four, like you knew something was going to happen to them. I thought more would die.
Yeah. So yeah, we should talk about that. Only 2, I believe, Avengers died.
Yeah, only 2.
Black Widow and Iron Man.
Which, like I said, I think we both thought that Cap would die.
No, I thought Iron Man was more likely.
Did we? Yeah, maybe we did.
I didn't think Cap wasn't gonna die. I thought Iron Man was more likely. Because I mean, he's cheated death so many times already. You know, being the risk taker that he is, and his big moment was huge.
Oh yeah.
Because we had been wondering that for a while was why did Doctor Strange trade the time stone to spare Iron Man, and the way it worked out, like I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, well, what's he gonna do? And it finally built up to the final battle when they go through the time, different time jumps, time heist. According to Ant-Man.
That's funny.
Yeah, time heist. They get all their stones. They build their own kind of Iron Man gauntlet, and Thanos from the past attacks, and the Iron Gauntlet kind of gets fudged around and ends up in the middle of the battlefield, and Thanos and Iron Man fight for it. And I thought that was an awesome sequence.
That was a really cool sequence. It was so quick to me. Like it was the whole thing, like the whole finishing move. I guess I don't know what else I could call it. Like it felt quick to me. Like Iron Man and Doctor Strange look at each other. Doctor Strange gives him like the finger, like one. This is the one, and Iron Man goes over there.
I knew that I didn't quite. That makes sense now. I didn't understand what that quite meant. He just kept pointing. I'm like, is he going to do something else? And then now it makes sense because they were only supposed to win 1 out of 14 million different outcomes. And that was the one, and that was the moment, which was also, I mean, looking back, that's a very cool moment because Iron Man asked him, is this the one? And he was like, if I tell you, it's not going to happen. And I guess technically he did, and it ended up happening. But a great moment, especially when it looked like, again, all hope was lost because Thanos put the gauntlet on, and he did the snap, nothing happened. And Iron Man ended up stealing all the stones from him and had his own little mini gauntlet, and finished it.
Yeah, it was definitely a cool sequence where.
And that's the one who should have done it. I think we talked about it before. We both, I think, worried it was going to be Captain Marvel. I'm so glad it almost was, and I'm so glad it wasn't.
I'm glad it wasn't Captain Marvel. She was a big player in that sequence, obviously coming to kind of the aid of Iron Man and delaying Thanos when he did get a hold of the gauntlet for a hot second there, to allow Tony to join the fight and steal the stones, put them in his own little gauntlet. But yeah, the way that it played out felt right. Like it made sense.
I couldn't
for
agree
Tony
more.
to be the one. For sure.
He was the one who had been haunted by Thanos for so long, and he was clearly important, according to Doctor Strange. And yeah, like you said, it felt right that it was him, and I'm glad he went out that way. I got to tell you though, that death, man, really tugged at the heartstrings. I don't know about you. I almost cried.
Yeah, that was like on par with our Game of Thrones deaths. Like that was.
Yeah, the only time I felt that close with a Game of Thrones death as I have with Robert Downey Jr.'s end in the Marvel universe is Jon Snow dying at the end of season 5. I was heartbroken after that.
That was so I was gonna say Robb Stark because Robb's my favorite character.
Okay, yeah, that's close. Yeah,
and so I was that was on par with something like that, which you and I
just I can remember when Iron Man came out because I was, I think, one of the first ones at school to see it.
Yeah, we were.
I was 15 years old, and my dad, my mom went out of town. I don't remember what for, and we had the place to ourselves one weekend. And my dad just gathered my brother and I and said, "We're going to the movies." And I said, "What are we going to go see?" He goes, "I want to see Iron Man." And loved the movie, and Robert Downey Jr. was reborn. I've known the man for I've known him as Tony Stark for 11 years. I was 15. I'm now 26, and it's heartbreaking. It really is. I just about cried watching him die. Yeah. When the light went out in his chest.
With Pepper there and Rhodey and Peter Parker, it was
especially Peter. I mean, geez.
Pepper Potts kicking some ass in the
that was one. I was like, what
Iron Woman suit, kicking some ass. That was pretty cool.
How about this? How about Captain America wielding Thor's original hammer?
That was maybe the biggest. Obviously, we were in a premiere, so people were cheering and doing stupid shit like that.
Yeah,
that was the biggest one that happened. Like people freaked the hell out, and it was
because I'm trying to remember what happened. Thanos had Thor kind of in a tight spot, so to speak.
Yeah,
I don't remember what, and he had kind of been battling with both of his hammers, and did he try to wield it, or you just saw the hammer go toward him and you assumed it was Thor and ended up going to Captain America behind him?
Thanos had the axe kind of in the same.
That's right, because I thought Thor was about to die.
Thor had it in Infinity War, and I think Thor may have done his hand, and you hear it.
Yeah.
Music builds, and you feel it, and you hear it flying around, and it whacks Thanos in the face, and then you follow the hammer, and bang, Chris Evans is standing there holding the shield and Mjolnir, and the place loses its mind.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then the line from Thor was, "I knew it."
I always knew it. Yeah,
I always knew it. Which, by the way, since we're talking about Thor, I have a bone to pick with Marvel. And hang on, because I don't know about you, but they were serving this here in Morgantown. This.
Yeah.
For my popcorn. Did you get this?
I didn't. It was expensive at my.
Yeah, it was $20 for all of it. But
yeah.
This is my biggest problem with Avengers Endgame. Where was this Thor?
He was a fat alcoholic.
Where was this Thor?
He was the everyman
Thor in Endgame sucked. The portrayal was a goddamn travesty, Steven. A goddamn travesty. I'm so mad about that. Like, I was screaming it just about in the parking lot. Doing the same thing. I was hitting my tin, container like, where the fuck, where was this Thor? I based my haircut on him.
I liked the Thor in this one. It was humorous and
I texted all my friends. I was like, the portrayal of Thor was a travesty, and they all get back to me and said, that's understandable.
Yeah, I get it. Like, that was
because he was a badass in Infinity War, and then they're just making fun of him in Endgame.
I thought it was pretty funny. I liked it. But
where was he, Steven? Where was this Thor? I love this Thor. Bin? What's that?
Is that metal popcorn bin?
Yeah, it's metal. Then the cup is inside.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. You're not gonna let this go, are you?
No, I'm gonna keep it right here. Because this is the Thor I recognize. This Thor, who, by the way, I'm happy is still in the MCU. Looks like I debated this with my friend. We were like, any chance Thor joins the Guardians of the Galaxy? He was like, I could see it, and sure enough, it looks like he is.
Yeah. That'll be cool. We'll see. Because there's a Guardians.
What was that?
So they're working on a Guardians 3, right?
Yes, Guardians 3 is slated to come out. It was slated to come out next year. I think they're pushing it back now. But
pushing it back. The whole James Gunn thing happens.
The whole thing with him and Star-Lord's going to be great over who's in charge. Like, I just remember turning to my friend, I was like, that's going to be really funny. But the two of them fighting over who's in charge.
That's going to be good. We'll get into the kind of the future.
Yeah.
Here in a But
no, we're just freehanding this. This was not planned. I just said, "Hey, want to do this?"
Yeah, this is totally off the cuff.
How about the time jumps? Let's talk about the different time jumps.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the New York one was probably my favorite. No, I don't know.
Yeah, probably. There were
four different ones. Yeah, there were four different ones.
It wasn't. I didn't like the one where they got the Power Stone, where Thanos and I didn't like that one.
That one just felt like
it felt forced.
Yeah, not forced. It was like almost like they ran out of stuff. Forced is, I guess it is a good word for it, but they had to work it in somehow, and then it was just like, wait, she can retrieve her own memories from another nebula. Just, I don't know. It just felt forced. Yeah, like you said, I guess.
I mean, I understand that like it had to happen somehow, but
yeah, probably the New York one was my favorite because we got to see Cap on Cap.
Yeah, that was cool. The elevator ride was a fun little nod to.
Yes, and I remember saying that during the movie. Like, this is Winter Soldier. There were a lot of nods to the different movies in the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, seeing Cap lean in and say "Hail Hydra," like that was a bit of a shot to the gut, but like it helped sell it, and it worked.
By the way, how'd they get the Space Stone back? Oh, is that when they went to the 70s?
Yeah, that's the Tesseract is the Space Stone.
I don't know. Time travel is so dangerous, man. It about fucked me up.
It was tough to follow. Like it,
and it never really changed any outcomes. Like I didn't get it. Then Hulk does the whole your past is your future, then your present becomes the past, and I was like,
yeah, I was like, I'm lost.
Yeah, I was like, I'm lost. Let's just get the show on the road. Let's just get these stones back.
Yeah. So I mean, like you said, New York was cool. The New Jersey one was really cool.
Yes.
Like that one where they went Back to New Jersey was awesome. The Vormir one obviously was
hard to watch. Again,
crazy, sad and hard to watch, and was a lot to handle emotionally and psychologically.
I do think that the Hawkeye and Black Widow, no, it's gonna be me, no, it's gonna be me, went a little too long. Like she tried to stop him, then he tried to stop her, then she tried to stop him, then he stops her, then he jumps off, then she stops him, and then she basically lets go of him and kills herself.
Finally it ends. So it. Yeah, I mean,
I was like, one of you die. I mean, come on, we gotta get the show on the road.
We gotta get this thing going. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Like,
we got to get going here. We got to stop Thanos.
But that one was tough.
It was tough. I didn't think it would be Black Widow.
She's the longest, except for longest running character, except for Tony Stark. I want to.
Technically War Machine, but it wasn't Don Cheadle.
Yeah, that's true. And then I think there was one in between Iron Man 1 and 2. I just can't remember which one it was.
Who Ed Norton's not in this, so I'm not sure that even counts. It's technically not even part of the MCU.
That's fair.
I think they count it as part of the MCU, but Marvel does not have the rights to that movie. Marvel Studios.
That's fair. Okay. So yeah, I mean, like she's been, with the War Machine asterisk, and
Did you just say War Machine asterisk?
Asterisk on the War Machine and asterisk on the Hulk. I mean, she's been the longest running character in the MCU besides Tony Stark.
Well,
and
Nick
Pepper
Fury,
Potts
I guess too.
Yeah, I mean.
Which, by the way, I'm glad we got our boy Nick Fury back.
Oh yeah.
Who was? No, I'll say I don't even know if you'll get it, but during Tony Stark's funeral, there was like a teenager.
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Okay, so we were both confused. There's like a teenager between the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Shield and like Captain Marvel, on the steps, and I'm like, who the hell is that kid?
And Thunderbolt Ross or whoever it was. Yeah, I didn't know who that was either.
Okay, so none of us know.
I'm sure it's a Easter egg of some kind. I'm sure it's.
My friend that I went with thinks that it's some relative of Stan Lee.
Oh, that might make sense.
Like he just, he said he doesn't know. Maybe it's a, kind of like maybe it's a relative of Stan Lee. I was like, maybe I could see it.
That might be the Russos.
Although he got his cameo in it.
Yeah.
Which is hard.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I was gonna ask you the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was one of the two scenes where I turned to Julian and went, "Good God, there's a lot of money on screen right now." Because they pan through that, it's Gwyneth Paltrow, and then it's Jon Favreau and Don Cheadle, and
all the characters from the Iron Man universe,
Jeremy Renner, and
his family,
and Tom Hiddleston, or Tom.
No,
Tom
he
Holland,
never came back.
Marissa Tomei.
Marissa Tomei looking fine as ever.
Even when she's mourning.
Yep.
And then you pan past that, and it's Thor and Valkyrie, and pan past that. And
not
it's
my Thor. This is my Thor.
Not your Thor.
Not my Thor.
And then you pan past that, and it's Black Panther and Shuri and his mom and Okoye, and you pan past that, and it's Bucky and Cap and Sam Wilson and.
Oh, and that's the other character fate we need to reveal is Captain America's. I thought that was excellent. I'm not a huge Chris Evans fan, but he got an excellent send-off.
I like. Okay, yeah, so I like that. I did not like the passing of the mantle because I wanted it. I was under the impression that it would go to Bucky.
I was under the same impression too.
As a super soldier, who has ditched his Hydra leanings, I was under the impression that it would go to Bucky, but I mean, Sam makes sense, and
I said to my friend, I was like, this is technically right. Right? Like Sam in some of the comics does take up the mantle. He said, yeah, he does to some extent. And I said,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is why Hollywood's doing this. They're being as PC as possible. They're giving it to Anthony Mackie, which I like Anthony Mackie in the MCU.
He's great, and
it should have been Bucky though. I'm with you.
It will be good going forward if it's if he's part of the Avengers with Captain Marvel and them, but and Valkyrie maybe and whomever else is and Spider-Man and all them, but
yeah, because I was curious.
I like seeing Bucky, but
I was curious. Back to Captain America. I was curious how he was coming to an end because the final battle was over. He didn't die, but Chris Evans said like I'm done after this one, and I was like, well, how's he going to go out? And sure enough, it happened. In the last 5 minutes of the movie, pretty much. He goes back in time to put take the Infinity Stones to where basically no one will find them, and he doesn't return for a little bit, and then he comes back as an 85-year-old man, and he ended up marrying, taking or dancing with, I should say, Peggy, and then I'm assuming it was them, and they got married and had a life together.
Yeah, you gotta think so. I mean,
you would imagine, yeah.
That's the way that story is supposed to end. So I liked it. I mean, it was a little campy, but
I loved it. I was because I thought he was going to get stuck back in time, and he kind of was. But
kind of, but it was of his own choosing.
Yeah,
like he lived the life that he always wanted, but couldn't do because he was duty bound to be Captain America. Right. So I don't hate it.
Ant-Man was a little too goofy for me.
Yeah,
which I get it. Paul Rudd's a funny guy, comes from a comedy background. But in general, I thought the movie was too goofy. I think I mentioned that already, but
I liked that it was a little lighthearted. Like sometimes, like you can't be.
The risk was too high, Steven.
Yeah, I mean, I get like
we can't be making jokes and have a beer-gutted Thor.
Like the jokes in the middle of the battle, in the middle of like serious scenes, like I get, like there's bigger things to worry about than like the jokes that were made during the battle.
But yeah, there were a few.
And the throwaway one-liners and stuff like that. Like that, I could have done without. But I don't know. I like in dialogue scenes and like things like that. Like I was okay with a little bit of humor and things like that eking its way in. Like I said, it's a 3-hour movie. You can't be serious the whole time.
Yeah, and Thor was very funny. I kept hoping he would change back into the real Thor.
Somehow.
But he never did, and there he is fighting Thanos with a beer gut, and I was like, this isn't funny.
With a beer gut and a mountain man beard.
This isn't funny. Like, he's supposed to be a badass, and this is.
Oh, it was hilarious.
I'm still mad. I'm rambling again about Thor.
Thor looks like me. I think it's hilarious.
Honestly, he looks like we both do. We both have guts.
Yeah, we got a little bit of belly.
My friend said something like, I said, how, I based my haircut off Thor. And he was like, are you going to continue to do that now? I said, yeah, because I look more like him now than ever. Yeah, I got the gut for it.
Just never shave or cut your hair. I
kind of have the hair going. I got the beard going. And I have the gut for it now.
You're good.
Makes me mad. I'm trying to think of anything else. Tony Stark's last words, I am Iron Man. I loved it. When Thanos said, I am inevitable, and he just says, I am Iron Man.
Yeah, but I am Iron Man. And that was... I mean, obviously, that's a call back to...
A lot of callbacks.
The first movie that kind of kicked off the Avengers thing.
Yep.
And
also the cheeseburger line from his daughter.
Ugh.
Cheeseburgers. And I kind of went over my head at first until Jon Favreau said, your dad liked cheeseburgers. I was like, Burger King. I get it now. I want an American cheeseburger. That's what he said.
Cheeseburger. It's tough.
I'm heartbroken, man.
It's
And
tough.
I don't know how I'm going to handle this weekend with Game of Thrones. I'm really not. If I'm heartbroken over this, and I know characters are going to die this weekend.
We can't lose anymore.
No, I think we're going to. But that's another conversation.
Yeah, we've already had enough of those.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm trying to think of anything else like. Oh, my favorite character came back. Korg.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that whole scene was fantastic.
Lighting up the Fortnite game.
Yeah. Thor, what's his name's back, and then he puts the headset on. Listen, this is God of Thunder. If you won't leave my friend alone, I will go down there and kick you in the butt. Or kick your butt. And then he takes the headset off. If he bullies you again, let me know.
Thank you, Thor.
Thank you, Thor.
So
Korg was fantastic.
Love Korg.
New Asgard, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw like the very
I know. Did you pay attention to any of the cameos?
Not really. I mean, I saw one of the Russos was in it.
Yeah.
In that group scene.
Yeah, almost like an AA meeting.
Yeah.
And the character was gay, and I was like, oh, okay, he's gay. Cool.
Sure. Well,
He was like, I went on a date, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, he met a girl. And then he showed up and started crying. I'm like, oh, it's a he. It's a quick Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Whatever tickles your pickle. Literally and figuratively.
But no, one of the Russos, and then Mr. Chow, Kim Jong, was the security guard.
I saw that. Like, I tapped Juge, and I was like, is that freaking Kim Jong?
Yeah, I was like, oh, hey, look. And then,
then we got our last Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, and then when they were in New York, Robert Redford came back.
Robert Redford was in.
And one of his bodyguards was Matthew Berry from ESPN.
Really?
Yeah, he's I don't know what he does.
Yes, guy, right?
What's that?
He's a fantasy guy, right?
Yeah, fantasy football is mostly what he does. And I turned to my friend, I was like, well, he pointed it out first. I was like, oh, yeah, that is Matthew Berry. And I turned to him, I was like, how much do you want to bet they're doing this to pay tribute that this is happening during the draft?
Oh, yeah, that'd be really, yeah. That's funny.
Not tribute, but like because the draft is going on.
I didn't even notice that it was Matthew Berry. I didn't.
He was not barely in it, but like you see Robert Redford and you're like, oh, yeah, there he is. There's Redford, and he was right next to Robert Redford. So like you would have missed him probably because you're more focused on Redford.
Yeah.
Yeah, some interesting cameos.
Interesting cameos. What was Stan Lee's?
The final battle was
I can't remember.
Really good for the most part. Like you said, a lot of humor I could have done without.
Yeah, and
the Trinity, as my friend calls it, the Trinity fighting Thanos was fantastic.
It was awesome.
If only it was this fucking Thor.
I mean, they were quickly dispatched. I mean, like Thanos kind of kicked their ass around for a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it's happening. Someone's dying right here.
Yeah, I thought so too. They ended up getting it together. Cap gets that little crackle in his ear, and Sam.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
The big reveal of that's the first time I said I hit Juge, and I was like, it was panning through like literally every character of all time ever. And I was like, there's so much money on screen right now. Like, this is ridiculous.
There's so much money on screen. Then there were just characters I didn't even expect.
Literally
Valkyrie,
everyone.
I didn't know was in the movie until
literally everybody that could have been there was. Pepper Potts put on Iron Woman armor, like Janet Van Dyne.
Yep.
I didn't see her
Michael
showing
Douglas was at the funeral, and his wife, what's her name? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah. Like, there was just so much money. Like, the amount of money that Marvel Studios had to pay for that one shot.
Honestly, they probably didn't pay that much. Some probably just said, yeah, we'll do it.
And actor salaries was just ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, like, they get it. Like everything works, and like the setup to the battle was really cool too, where like everybody gets back and they've got all the stones, and obviously Black Widow isn't there, and they fight about who's gonna actually do it, and then Bruce Banner steps up where he's like, most of the radiation is gonna be gamma.
Oh, you know who? Okay, we should talk about that. What did you think of the Hulk being, Professor Hulk?
Professor Hulk, I liked it. I thought
too.
I thought it was coming eventually, because you've seen him kind of grapple with it for so long, through what 4 or 5 movies now, kind of back and forth. And so I thought it was coming. I liked it. The reveal could have talked a little bit more about it, like how he figured it out. But it was kind of a throwaway.
He just showed up.
It was kind of a throwaway reveal, which
I was also I don't know about disappointed, but I guess disappointing is the right word. With Ant-Man getting out of the quantum realm, I was like, how's he gonna do it? How's he gonna do it? And then a fucking rat, just walks over him and lets him out. Walks over the control, steps on, the right one, and he gets out. I was like, really? That felt like the whole movie. I just remember being like, really? That's how it's gonna happen?
Yeah, I think, and I think that's natural because this was so built up. Like, we had everybody had such high expectations.
Yeah, that's probably my problem, is that I expected way too much.
I hate that because the movie was great. Like, it was really, really good.
But I'm not sure this is even a top 5 Marvel movie. For me.
It is.
I don't know. I don't think it's better than Infinity War. There was so much more action in Infinity War.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. It's probably...
I'd give it probably like a 7.7 out of 10.
Oh, I'd be higher than that. Mine would.
Really?
I'd probably give it.
I think I gave Infinity War like an 8.8.
I'd probably give this. I gave Infinity War like a 9.6. I'd probably give this like a 9.2.
Maybe I have to see it again. I don't know, but my expectations I think were just absurdly high.
I think seeing it again will help, because there was just a lot. So we'll. But getting back, like the setup to the battle was cool.
I like the teams. Just they were matched up together well. Cap and Hulk and Iron Man and Ant-Man and New York. It was Thor and Rocket and Asgard. Nebula and War Machine, which I guess was probably the most random one of the crew. But they were on Morag, and then it was what? Black Widow and Hawkeye on Boromir, yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, the Nebula and War Machine makes the least sense, but you got to stick them somewhere. So
it was kind of like, okay, let's put Cap and Iron Man and these guys in New York, and they were like the last 2 picked.
Yeah, they were the last. They were the
like, oh shit, who do we got left? Nebula and War Machine. Well,
they were the goofy kids on the playground that can't play kickball.
We gotta take them. I guess we gotta put them on we gotta put them on Morag, I guess, even though they don't have a lot in common. Like, at least Rocket and Thor had a relationship from Infinity War.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
By the way, Natalie Portman showing back up. I remember.
I don't know if that was
and I said, how dare she think she can just waltz back into the MCU?
I don't know if that wasn't, like, stock footage.
Maybe. You honestly might be right.
The second Thor movie.
Maybe. Loki wasn't... I thought Loki was coming back. The way they made it seem was they were like, Avenge the Fallen, and Loki was one of the ones that were dead. Or that was dead, and I was like, I guess he's coming back. And he didn't. He was dead. He was in the movie for 10 seconds.
Yeah, well...
He stole the Space Stone.
Yeah.
And then they never went back to that.
Yeah, I don't know how they... I don't know. I'm going to have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Like, there's...
The whole again, time travel's dangerous. I don't really like it for the concept of a movie.
It confuses me.
And then you're like, well, why doesn't it affect the future? Like, the whole thing, like, I don't really care for.
I've seen Back to the Future too many times to not think that's going to affect
that
something.
was a great line, by the way, when they were going through, or a great scene when they were going through all the time travel movies.
Yeah.
And then Ant-Man goes, Die Hard? Wait, no, that's not time travel.
Wait, nope, that's not right.
And then Hulk gives him that explanation about time travel, and then Ant-Man goes, You're telling me Back to the Future was pure bullshit?
Kind of, yeah.
Wait, you telling me Back to the Future was bullshit?
See, like, it was funny. Like,
there were some good moments.
In scenes like that, I liked that.
Right, yeah. I follow you. There were, like, that, and I do like Thor's appearance when it's... Oh, but we didn't talk about how they skipped 5 years. I didn't see that coming. I did not see it coming, but...
Yeah, I really didn't either.
I thought it would be better if it was a few years in, but it picked up kind of right where Infinity War left off. Then they go to Thanos. They have that like brief encounter. Then they kill him, and then like it just skips 5 years. I was like, oh,
yeah.
like
what now?
Yeah, like I thought it might be. They pick up right where it left off. I thought it was going to go. They pick up right where they left off. They lose to Thanos again. They go back to Earth. Come up with a plan C. And then go from there with the time travel and all that stuff. Or it takes place 5 years later, and they try to find their way, find a way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't bother me. I think
not really. I just didn't expect it.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And I do like the way they made the world worse. Like we
sure.
only factored in, half the people are gone, better traffic, less idiots.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it won't be so bad. And it ended up being, the government can't control people because government officials are gone.
That's some good points.
Yeah, and it ended up being, a worse place. Even though Thanos thought it was going to be a utopia, and it wasn't. Shocker, because you commit genocide. It's not a good thing.
Usually bad. Genocide's normally bad.
Usually bad.
One thing I did want to point out was you talked about PC earlier. They had the
I can't wait to hear this.
The scene where like every woman character.
Yes. Oh my god, that drove me nuts.
In Marvel, like teamed up and got the gauntlet to Tony or to wherever it was going, or tried to get it to
the time machine.
Time machine or whatever, yeah. And I was like, okay. I looked at
that,
Juju,
I could have done without that. Like, I was laughing
fitness.
At that point. And I remember turning to my friend Alex and just being like Captain Marvel can't just get through all of those guys by herself, which she could.
Which she could, and she did. Like,
it was dumb. Yeah, very PC, very
like
dumb.
It was Peter Parker's like, I don't know how I'm gonna get there, and then Captain Marvel flies in and is like, don't worry, he'll have help, and then it pans out, and it's just
which
like...
I do love that, when Peter Parker has the gauntlet.
Every female
he's holding it like this, and she just comes up and goes, you got something for me? I did miss Peter Parker. Very much.
Yeah. I mean, that was one of the, like, that was... But like that one, I didn't that humor during the battle I didn't have a problem with, because that's Peter Parker's character. Like,
he's supposed to be kind of a klutz.
Yeah, so I didn't hate that.
The reunion with him and Iron Man, I about had to walk out. I was like, no, these fucking allergies, man. God.
All this pollen's
this pollen and someone's cutting onions. It's fucking up my eyes.
Yeah, that was probably when the girl that's sitting next to me was eating her fucking salad.
Salad?
Yeah, we were at one of those fancy movie theaters that you can order food and get all this shit. Her and her boyfriend had a bottle of wine.
Damn hell. We had a shit movie theater.
That they spilled all over the place and made a whole bunch of racket. And then she ordered a salad that she started playing with her fork and making a bunch of racket and crunching on lettuce and croutons. And then she fell asleep and started snoring. I could have killed her.
I didn't eat anything until the movie actually started. I held out until the previews were done, and I grabbed my popcorn. And the beginning of the movie is kind of slow and quiet. There's not a ton of music. There's not battle music or anything. It's just kind of quiet. And I remember just eating my popcorn, chowing down on it, and I'm like, I'm making a lot of noise.
Like a lot of racket.
Like I, fistfuls of popcorn, just shoving it into my mouth.
Yeah,
I was like,
that was the same
damn,
way.
I'm making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
But no, so one of the moments I have to talk about, because it was an emotional roller coaster for me, because like I said, the NFL draft was going on, the Boston Bruins were playing, and I remember watching the movie, and I just remember being like, I'm a little disappointed with this. Like, this isn't what I expected. So I was a little bummed out by that. I get an alert on my phone, and the player I wanted Green Bay to take was picked. I was like, fuck. Keep watching the movie a little bit more. I'm kind of upset. Get another alert. Columbus took a 2-1 lead. I was like, fuck! I can't catch a break right now.
This is going horribly.
This is going horribly. And then, like, right when the final battle started, I got an alert. Packers take Rashawn Gary. I was like, let's go. That's a good pick. Then the battle starts commencing. I'm dead serious. Right when Captain America finally says, Avengers assemble, I get an alert. Bruins win in overtime. I'm like, I'm creaming my pants.
That's a lot at one time.
It was. I'm dead serious within a 5-minute span. The Bruins didn't win. They took it to overtime. Packers took Rashawn Gary. The final battle started with the whole Avengers Assemble line. I was like, I turned to my friend Alex and was like, I'm fully erect.
What pick did Green Bay have?
What's that?
What pick did Green Bay have?
12.
12. Okay.
12 and they traded up to 21. But yeah. Any other thoughts? Or do you want to just skip to the future of Marvel?
I don't really have anything else.
I don't know. We kind of broke it all down. And this is just off the top of our head, too.
Yeah.
We're what? I think like an hour. Yeah, we're running at an hour.
Short for us.
So, future of Marvel. No more Tony Stark. No more Black Widow. Where does Marvel go from here? No more Captain America now, too.
I mean, no more Chris Evans Captain America.
Right, correct.
I think... I don't know.
Who takes over the Avengers?
Obviously, that's a point of contention,
Because I'm sure Captain Marvel could, but she seems more preoccupied with what's going on in outer space.
Captain Marvel seems like a logical choice.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see Spider-Man taking over.
No, he's too young. Don't see Hawkeye. Hawkeye might be out of the MCU.
I could see something where Sam Wilson kind of takes it up as the mantle. Him and Bucky kind of
maybe
team it.
Thor, I think, is done with the Avengers.
Yeah, I don't.
If he's joining the Guardians of the Galaxy, which it looks like he is, I think he's done, and I would love it if he joins the Guardians, because I think he'd be really funny with them.
Maybe Professor Hulk,
okay, I could see that.
The R&D side or whatever, but I think the logical choices are.
What about Doctor Strange or Black Panther?
Oh man, I forgot about them.
Strange, hard maybe. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so because he is.
Black Panther's a king. He's got shit in his mind.
He will be in the Avengers. I think he'll fight with the Avengers or alongside some of the Avengers. Like I said, he'll be there. I think Black Panther will be too. But like you said, they've got other stuff going on.
Yep.
Black Panther's a king.
Doctor Strange has his own
Doctor Strange has the Sanctum to worry about.
Yeah, you're right. And Captain Marvel seems like she's too busy with outer space, but she might end up being the leader. I could see it.
We'll see. I mean,
it's gonna be interesting because outside of Spider-Man, they don't have any movies slated next year. Nothing official, at least. No, I'm sorry. The Eternals. They do have the Eternals.
Yeah, and I think that'll change to
Oh yeah, they're gonna
like they'll. I think now that this is now that that Endgame is out and people know it, they'll announce more things.
Right.
What that may be, because I mean they have got to find a way to get Adam Warlock in.
Yep, they almost did already.
They teased that.
Yeah, I think that's a Guardians 3.
Obviously, the Elementals are coming, or the
Eternals. I don't like how it's getting cosmic.
Yeah, it is getting really space heavy, but
I can live with it. But I always think of Marvel as superheroes, and they're on Earth. That's why I didn't know Guardians was part of Marvel until like it was out of theaters, and I was like, oh well, I would want to go see it.
I think that X-Men and Fantastic Four will play a role.
No, I think Kevin Feige said that's not coming out for a while.
I mean, it may not be coming out for a while, but
it will, just not for a while.
They'll be shoehorned in somehow.
I'm hoping we get more Thor movies, but I don't see that happening.
I could see a Valkyrie movie where
because that was when she was in Thor Ragnarok, and then after Infinity War happened, I thought she was dead. I was like, what's going to happen with her? Was she just a one-time movie deal? Usually they don't do that unless it's like a villain.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't a villain. She was kind of a hero. So I was like, Tessa Thompson's going to join the MCU for one movie? That doesn't make sense. So I'm glad she came back. And yeah, I think there's a very good chance she gets her own movie.
That would be cool.
Oh, what did you think of her becoming Queen of Asgard? Of New Asgard?
I don't really have an opinion. Like, I mean, it makes.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Like, but like the whole character arc with Thor, like becoming who he is, not who he's supposed to be. Like, whatever, dude. Like,
they ruined Thor. They ruined Thor. This is Thor.
That.
Look at him. This is Thor.
King Down Under.
I'm so mad about it. I'm so mad.
Yeah.
This is Thor.
Keep spinning around.
What'd you say? Keep twirling it around?
Keep doing it. Keep showing me. How many other Thors are
there? One more. This one.
One more.
And then we're back to this one. Yeah, I wanted to go up there. I didn't know that Iron Man was dying. And I went up there after the movie and I said, how many more of those containers do you have? And they said, we only have 2 more. I said, who are they? They said, Black Widow and Hawkeye. I said, I have no interest in.
I don't care about those.
I was like, yeah, I have no interest.
We'll see. Like you said, I think it's going to be a little bit more cosmic with, their heavy hitters, Guardians and Captain Marvel.
I think we're going to see a lot of new ones.
Yeah, we might see some new ones. The Earthbound ones, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange.
Shang-Chi. He's the Asian superhero.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Shang-Chi.
Black Panther, obviously.
Yeah, that's obvious. That's getting a sequel. Doctor Strange is going to get a sequel. Captain Marvel's going to get a sequel. They're all getting sequels.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's already got his sequel.
That will be... it's like the future of it, but it'll just be different. Like we've known this for 11 years, and it's not going to be this anymore.
I know. It's very sad. Very sad.
Who knows?
And in another 11 years, it'll be 40 movies probably. Then you know what they'll do?
They'll just do it again.
They'll just remake them.
Just run it back. With a whole bunch of kids that aren't even born yet playing all these roles.
I mean, it's Disney. Disney has a rule or something like they have to remake a Disney movie like every 10 years so a child can experience it differently.
Yeah, what were your previews? Did you have Lion King?
Yes.
So
Hashtag not my Lion King.
Hashtag you're a dumbass.
It's not my Lion King. The real Lion King was in the 90s.
So pumped up for that.
Lion King, we got Gemini, which looks dumb.
Gemini, man, the Will Smith one.
Yeah.
We might have the same one.
I don't think we got another Marvel. I don't think we got Spider-Man.
We got Dark Phoenix.
No, we didn't get Dark Phoenix.
We had Dark Phoenix.
The last X-Men movie before they joined the MCU and fire everybody. Maybe. If they keep Sophie Turner, I'll be fine.
No, Sansa, what are you doing?
If they can keep Sophie Turner, I'll be fine with that.
I'm alright with
But
that.
they already said it, like only Ryan Reynolds is safe. What other previews did we get? I didn't really pay attention. I was on my phone.
Yeah, we were watching the draft too. Remember? Well, because it's not important.
It's not important. No, there was. Oh, the new Russo brothers movie, 21 Bridges.
Oh, I didn't get that one. We got Detective Pikachu though.
No, we didn't get that. The 21 Bridges looks good. That's by the Russo brothers and it has Chadwick Boseman in it. And Taylor Kitsch. It's like a cop movie. It looks pretty good.
You love me some Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah. What's his name in Friday Night Lights?
Tim Riggins.
I've never seen it. I know that he's very popular.
Got to watch Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I watched like the first 2 episodes and then I just quit watching. Well, all right, my man. I don't have anything else. We did our recap. We talked about just about everything. Unless there's something else I don't remember. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, it was, like I said, I'm going to have to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to pay for it again or wait for it to come out on. I guess.
I'll probably, unless my brother, because he took me to go see Infinity War last year and he had already seen it.
Yeah.
So unless he comes up in the next few weeks and hasn't seen it yet, and if we want to hang out, I'll be like, oh, let's go see it. And that'll be the only scenario where I go back to the theater to see it.
I guess it will come out on that new Disney streaming service. Maybe. It's coming out in September.
Maybe. Well, I think it'll be out on DVD by then. I think it was released like in August last year. Infinity War was.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I'm getting that streaming service regardless.
How much is that a month?
It's only like $6.99.
That's doable.
It's not bad.
What's it come with? Any idea?
Like everything that Disney's ever done. It's going to be all of Star Wars, all of Marvel, all of like the Disney cartoon movies. All the 30 for 30s are going to be on there.
I'm very interested in this now.
Like
so I can watch all my Disney movies. All my old school Disney movies.
I can watch. That's Sarah's favorite thing. Like
Disney movies?
She'll watch Little Mermaid 10 times a week if she can. Like
Little Mermaid's good. I watched 101 Dalmatians. That was my favorite growing up.
What was it?
The Lion King's obviously my favorite now, but 101 Dalmatians.
Lion King was a good one. I'll probably watch that when it comes on, like when I get that.
Lion King, Aladdin, both are coming out this year, remastered, and both of them are hashtag not my Lion King and not my Aladdin.
I'll be not my Aladdin because you can only have Robin Williams in Aladdin.
I was just about to say that. We can only have Robin Williams as Genie. That's like James Earl Jones' Mufasa. The Lion King got it right. Granted, James Earl Jones is still alive. Robin Williams isn't.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have with the new Aladdin. I'm
also bummed, and I think he'll be fine. I'm bummed they didn't bring back Jeremy Irons to be Scar, because I think that's the best voiceover of all time.
I thought they did.
No, it's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll be doggone.
Yep, it is. And I think he'll be fine, because he's going to be the villain in Doctor Strange, it looks like. Yeah, I got nothing, man. I'll let you go.
Yeah, brother.
Always a pleasure. We will probably do this next week to recap the battle at Winterfell.
Yeah, we got a big weekend coming, so
I'm not looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to what it might entail.
Yep.
I think we're in for a rough Sunday.
Gotta make it through court tomorrow, and then I'm good.
Court? Jury duty?
Nah, I just gotta go for work.
That's right. That's right. Well, all right, man. I'll let you go. You got a busy day tomorrow. I don't have a busy day, but I'll let you go.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Semester's over. I got nothing going on, and I don't work.
You stink. All right, I'll talk to you later, bub.
All right, later.
Take it easy.